coach, as we preview Saturday's match against the New England Revolution.
Yeah, morning, guys. I think sometimes football gives you an opportunity to get back out there straight away. In terms of injuries, we're no different than last week in terms of the players we've got in the squad. It was the same squad. Positive news: Jovin Jones now is probably going to get minutes in the MLS2 game on Sunday against Orlando, so that's positive. He's got good experience, and we've missed him for 10 months. He's been out for now, so he's back. So we're going with the same group of players. I think what we've tried to do this week is highlight the positives that we saw in the game against Houston, but obviously not the result that we wanted. So Saturday gives us a great opportunity to get back out there and continuing building, continue to be positive, continue to keep believing in what we're doing, playing against one of the best sides in the league with my favourite manager in the league, in Bruce Arena, who since I came here has been one of the managers that's really helped in terms of me watching him, learning from him, and the chats that we've had. So it'd be great to see Bruce before and after the game. But during the game, we are going to go. We're going to go and try and put on a great show, play with the style that we want, and get the first win that we want to dedicate to our supporters who have been absolutely fantastic and stood by us and stuck with us and showing great support to us. And I think they understand the process that we're going through.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with Lauren, then Franco.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good performance. We went there and we played really well. We won, but we know that these are one of the best sides. They won the league last year, so we know their credentials, we know their quality, we know their experience. Playing in the Champions League in the early part of the season, you see it with New England, NYC, down in that bottom half of the table, because it's such a difficult competition to get the balance right between the league and the Champions League. So I'm sure now that they're obviously not in the competition, they've had a good week's training, they've rested up, and we know that they're going to be a major threat. They probably, pound for pound, had the best player in the league last year in Carlos Gil, and someone that's a major threat. And we're going to have to be at our absolute best to win the game.
Next question, Franco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it just come down to composure, or is it there a better create more quality chances? Is that,
yeah.
When you do your analysis of what needs to improve?
Yeah, well, I think if you see the shots, we're having an incredible amount of shots, 22 in the last game, and like you say, we've gone through every one. And I suppose if you half those shots to make another pass, I think we'll be in better positions to have, better chances and goals. So for me, I think what I'm seeing from the boys at the moment, they're so desperate to win, so desperate to do well, so desperate to get them goals, is that they're just tightening up a little bit. We've been working all week on the composure, the final pass, taking the extra pass, keeping teams in the final third, and really keeping teams penned in and sustaining the attacks, and not be so desperate to score every single attack. There is a moment on transition, I think we're really good, really quick, where there's a moment when you've got to go for goal, but that moment when it doesn't quite happen, you've got to go from between fire and ice. You've got to go, right, bang, we're going to go for goal. If not, then we're just going to come back out and have ice running through our veins and just show that bit of composure. But it's not through the want of trying. That's the thing that I must stress, and I've been onto them every single day. A large part of our work is in that final bit, because I think it's the most difficult bit. It's the most difficult bit to coach. It's the most difficult bit to execute. And it just keeps repetition and practice, and gaining confidence from that. And once the goals come, once that first goal come, I'm sure that you'll see goals after that. And we've got Lassiter, Campagna, Robinson, Higuain, Taylor, Motta, that are all just so nearly there. And I'm sure just one goal will just spark hopefully a glut of goals. Yeah. Yeah. That's the fine line, because you can because you got to work, you got to practice, but you've also not got to overthink it. There's got to be a degree of freedom to let them go and express themselves and practice amongst themselves, but also that degree of, I always think that which golfer said it, the harder the practice, the luckier you get. And that's really always been my motto is that, when you think it will turn, because it will, the only way it'll turn, for me, is by keep working harder, keep grinding, keep grafting, keep being together. And you'll get your rewards. And we don't feel as if we've got our rewards yet, but I think we saw signs against Houston that there was a little bit of confidence coming back. We had a lot of possession of the ball. We had good moments in the game. And we've just got to make sure we capitalize on those moments. No. I think we've got a problem with raccoons at home, so I'm kicking the raccoons at the moment. No. For me in these situations, I think if I was a player, I was a defender, I'd be like, come on guys, you it's your job. But as a coach, I think the realization is that it's the hardest thing to do is to put the ball in the back of the net. It's why the greatest players in the world are the greatest players, because that's the hardest thing to do. And for me, it's just giving them confidence. It's giving them belief. And, I think what we did early in the week, we spent a lot of time trying to tell them how to think, tell them how to, gather the thoughts about the game, because, you go on from the game Sunday, because of the late kickoff because of the delayed kickoff Sunday was a day off. You read social media, you read the newspapers, you read, Inter Miami this, Inter Miami that, Inter Miami struggling, Inter Miami in crisis. And all of a sudden, sometimes you've got to flip that, and by telling them actually how to believe, how to think. And that's what we did on the first Monday and Tuesday. They came in a little bit quiet, and then we showed them some footage, and then we showed them more footage, and then you could just see them saying, do you know what, we're not too far away, and we've just got to keep believing. And they're a brilliant group of players. They're a brilliant group of players who so desperately want to do well and to succeed. And we all feeling the frustration, we're all feeling the pain, we're all feeling the anger in terms of the results, and we want to put that right.
Next question, Michelle, then Jose.
Hi, Phil and everybody. I want to ask you about Robbie Robinson. Just, how do you think he's playing? What have you seen from him in the game? And also this week, where do you think he is?
He's doing well. I'm happy with him.
Next question, Jose.
Sorry, Michelle. I mean, that is it for Robbie. That's all I'm saying, is because Robbie knows what I think of him. Robbie knows what his ability is. Robbie knows where I think he can get to. At the moment, he's doing well. Now it's about consistency. Now it's about going out and doing, again, what he did against Houston, against New England, but even better. And now it's delivery time for him.
Next question, Jose.
Thanks, Rafa. Phil, I wanted to ask you an Open Cup question, because tomorrow is the draw. And I know it's a long way to go for you guys to actually play, but I want to get your thoughts on the tournament, and then obviously a potential matchup with Miami FC and Anthony Pulis, which, I'm sure is a guy that you know pretty well. Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's obviously they won last night. We know the permutations of the draw. We know it's a great opportunity to get into the Champions League. We know it's a competition that we're going to go for. There's going to be very little sort of like saving players, rotating players. We're going to play our best 11 in every single US Open Cup game. Because I liken it to probably the FA Cup in England, where you play against a team from the USL Championship, and it's a big scalp for them. It's their cup final, and they'll want to beat us, whether it's FC Miami, Tampa Bay, or whoever it will be. So we'll prepare for the game just like we would an MLS game. We know that having played in pre-season against the USL Championship game, and what an incredibly tough game it was, that it's going to be so tough, and we're really looking forward to it. But that's in 10 days' time.
We'll go to Franco, then Lauren.
how do you manage that, especially going into this weekend? That game on Saturday, it'll be hot. I know you'll have a lot of firepower themselves, so you don't want to leave exposed.
The managing what in the moments or the I think that if you look back at the 22 shots, I mean 7 or 8 came from transitional moments which we're good at. The other 14 came from our build, came from Nick Marsman. You know, the 14 chances came from Nick Marsman. So that shows you that, you know, we're a team that played with good confidence. That's what Nick Marsman gives us. He gives us the ability to play a style of football that I want us to play. In terms of sort of like, it's incredible. In the training session the other day, we had 2 blocks of maybe 8 minutes. In the first 6 minutes, it was like the Houston game. Couldn't score, couldn't take the extra pass, blazed it wide. Campagna scored 1 goal, then after that we scored 5 or 6. You know, and it was just funny every time a goal went in after that, how more relaxed. Then they smiled, and they smiled even more. Then they celebrated even more. So you can just see the pattern that the first goal is going to be really crucial. The first moment's going to be really crucial. The moment where we get into that position again, whether it's on the left or the right or the middle, and the decision making that they have to make. And that's what we've been really, really working on, decision making. Is there somebody, you think back to the best player I played with was Eric Cantona. If there was somebody in a better position to score than him, he would always give it to that person. That's what set him apart from the rest of the number 10s, even though he's a number 7 in the world, because he had the composure in the final pass to make the pass that would make the team score. And that sometimes wasn't him. And that is the key thing. If you're in the best position, you score. If there's somebody else in a better position to give us a better opportunity to get into the areas that will give us the best chance to score, then that's what being part of a team is all about. And that's the fine line. It's the fine line, because you think you want your centre forwards to be greedy, you want your centre forwards to be ruthless. But there's also a team dynamic. Give the ball to the player that's in the better position than you to score the goal. And I'm sure that once we score 1 goal, I'm sure there'll be goals after that. And I'm sure you'll see Campagna and Robinson and Lassiter, Taylor go on to score 3, 4, 5, 6 goals, you know, in the next months to come. But we just got to break that. Got to break that duck. And what we've tried to do in training, which I think is really important, is there's still got to be an element of fun. There's still got to be an element of enjoyment to the work that we do, because that's what football's all about. That's what life's all about. So that's been really key to get the balance right.
And we'll go with Lauren and then Michelle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they're incredible matches. Honestly, I think the 2 matches that we've seen so far have been of the highest quality. And I would urge every Inter Miami supporter to come down to watch these boys play. We've got a brilliant crop of young players coming through. Last year they played in a different league, but they weren't quite at the level that they are now. They've improved, they've got more confidence, they've grown, they've got faster, they've got bigger. We've been working them really hard, and now you're seeing players that are really thriving in the environment, and the spirit in which they play, the enjoyment in which they play, the quality in which they play. They're just fantastic. So I'd urge every Inter Miami fan to come down and see what the future of this football club is. And we're only 3 years into the growth of this football club, but we're already seeing signs of 16, 17-year-old boys coming through that could have a big future at this football club. And, you know, I came away from the game on Sunday and I was with David, and I've got to say we were so proud. David went into the dressing room after the game, told them how proud he was of the way that they played. The way that they played was like an Inter Miami team. And, you know, I think we're really pleased with the development of our academy and our MLS2 Next Pro team. And we just need to keep pushing them, and it gives us an opportunity to drops the wrong word, to play minutes to the guys that need minutes, like Bryce did on at the weekend. Nick Marsman's used it. Emerson Rodriguez has used it. I mean, Mabika got minutes and did really well. So I think the decision to go into that league and the decision for the league to form
Hello. Oh, I think you froze for a second. All right, you're moving again.
I'm moving, Michelle.
You are. I want to ask you about left back Noah Allen. You have injuries in that position. He's so young. Can you just talk about how he's played and you think how he's doing? That's a really difficult ask for a kid that young and going up against New England, which, as you mentioned, has a lot of firepower. Just talk about that left back position, please.
Well, I think he's done outstanding. And I think he's been literally thrown in the deep end, but he's been thrown at the deep end because we believe a lot in him. And sometimes as young young players, young people, sometimes, they play without fear. Noah plays without fear. We know there's a lot of development there. He knows there's a lot of development there. He knows that he's got certain things he's got to work on, but we're so proud of the way that he's come in difficult circumstances and shown real courage. The challenge for us as the management team is to make sure that we play him in the right games, we protect him at the right moments. We don't stifle his development or growth by not managing him well. And sometimes he'll need to play for the MLS2 team. Why? Because sometimes you just need to go back to play with your friends, less pressure, playing with the guys that are the same age as you, just to get a little bit of fun back, because this is top level football, playing with a lot of expectation. So we're really pleased with Noah. He's developing really well. And I think when you see young players in these types of situations, I think it's good for them. I think it's good for them to see that, this is the big bad world now. This is big, the big league. And he's growing up really fast. And we're super proud of him. And we've got 3 or 4 others in the academy that are going to get those opportunities again this year alongside him.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. What, the New England game? Yeah. Yeah.
Weekend.